Did you know that diesel engines that spend most of their time in city traffic or running light loads can lose up to 40% of their efficiency over time? And the crazy part is, most owners never realize it's happening until they're hit with a $3,000 repair bill. But here's the secret mechanics have been using for decades. There's a simple driving technique that can clear out carbon buildup, restore lost power, and help your diesel run strong for 400,000 miles or more. It's called the Italian tune-up, and despite the funny name, it's one of the most effective ways to keep your diesel alive. So what is it? It's not some fancy shop service, it's just a way of driving your engine hard enough for long enough to burn off all the carbon and soot that normal city driving leaves behind. In other words, it's your diesel's way of finally clearing its throat. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how it works, how to do it safely, and the warning signs that tell you when your truck desperately needs it. Because if you're only doing short trips and light commutes, chances are your engine is already choking itself to death. Here's the truth, modern diesels weren't built for the way most people actually drive them. These engines were designed for hauling, long hours on the highway, and constant variation in load and RPM. Think farm equipment, long-haul trucks, heavy machinery. But today, most diesels are stuck doing school runs, short commutes, grocery trips, and city stop-and-go traffic, and that's a huge problem. When your truck never gets fully warmed up, the combustion stays incomplete. That means extra soot, extra carbon, and extra contamination in places you don't want it. Your EGR valve gums up with black sludge, your turbo runs cold and inefficient, your DPF never gets the heat it needs to regenerate, and your engine oil slowly fills with fuel and moisture. You don't feel it right away. In fact, the truck might run fine for months, but gradually the power drops, the fuel economy tanks, and you start seeing warning lights you never noticed before. That's the silent damage of constant low-load driving. It's like forcing a marathon runner to sit in a chair all day. The engine never gets the workout it was designed for. And without that workout, deposits build up everywhere, slowly choking your diesel to death. This is exactly why the Italian tune-up exists. It's not about driving like a maniac. It's about giving your diesel the conditions it actually needs to stay clean, strong, and efficient. Now, let's clear something up. The Italian tune-up isn't a tune-up in the traditional sense. Nobody's swapping spark plugs or tearing down your engine. It's simply a way of driving your diesel the way it was designed to be driven, under load, at higher RPMs, and at sustained temperatures. Think of it like your truck hitting the gym. When you keep it stuck in city traffic, it's sitting on the couch all day, packing on carbon deposits. But when you give it a proper workout, steady highway speeds, higher revs, and enough time to fully heat up, the engine starts burning away that buildup naturally. Here's what the Italian tune-up does for you. It lets your DPF actually finish its regeneration cycle instead of constantly clogging. It burns carbon off your intake, valves, and EGR system. It forces your turbo to spin through its full range, keeping it healthy and responsive. And it brings every part of your diesel, oil, fuel system, and exhaust up to the temperatures they were meant to run at. The science is simple. Heat plus airflow equals clean combustion, and that's what keeps your diesel alive for 400,000 plus miles instead of dying before 100,000. But the real trick is doing it the right way, because if you just slam the pedal to the floor, you're not helping your truck, you're abusing it. So let me walk you through exactly how to perform the Italian tune-up the safe and effective way. Alright, so how do you actually do this without beating on your truck? Here's the safe version that mechanics have been quietly doing for decades. Step 1. Warm it up first. Don't jump in and hammer it cold. Drive normally for 5 to 10 minutes until your temperature gauge is in the normal range. Your oil needs to be thinned out and circulating before the real workout starts. Step 2. Find the right road. You need open highway or a safe back road where you can hold speed without slowing down every 2 minutes. This isn't something you can pull off in stop-and-go traffic. Step 3. Give it some load. Once warmed up, bring your RPMs into the higher range, usually around 2,500 to 3,000 on most diesels. For most trucks, that's cruising 65 to 75 miles per hour in a steady gear. The point isn't flooring it, it's holding steady at that sweet spot where the engine is working, not loafing. Step 4. Hold it. Keep it there for 15 to 20 minutes. That's long enough to burn out carbon, let the DPF complete a full regen, and clear out the junk your short trips left behind. Step 5. Cool it down. When you're done, don't park and shut it off immediately. Let the truck run easy for a couple of minutes so the turbo and oil temps can settle down. This prevents oil coking inside the turbo. Do this and you'll be shocked at the difference. Engines run smoother, turbos spool faster, and fuel economy is often better. So how often do you actually need to give your diesel this workout? The answer depends entirely on how you drive. If you're mostly on the highway already, doing long trips at steady speeds, you might be giving your truck the conditions it needs without even realizing it. In that case, once a month is usually enough. But if you're like most owners, short trips, city traffic, school runs, grocery stops, then your engine is basically begging for help. In that case, aim for a proper Italian tune-up at least once a week or every 2 weeks. That's all it takes to stop carbon buildup before it becomes a real problem. Here's a good rule of thumb. If you're seeing rough idling, black smoke when you accelerate, worse fuel economy, or that dreaded DPF light popping on more often than usual, don't wait for your monthly schedule. Your diesel is already telling you it needs the treatment right now. A solid 15 to 20 minute high-load run can clear out more buildup than weeks of normal city driving. Think of it like hitting the reset button before little issues snowball into expensive failures. So why does this simple driving trick make such a huge difference? It all comes down to heat and airflow. Diesels are built to run hot and under load. That's when they burn fuel cleanest and when the emission systems do their job properly. But if your truck spends most of its life making short trips, it never gets hot enough. What happens then? Carbon and soot start sticking to everything. Your EGR valve gums up, your intake gets coated, your DPF clogs, and even your turbo can start to drag from deposits. Over time, the engine feels sluggish, fuel economy drops, and you're left wondering why your bulletproof diesel suddenly feels weak. The Italian tune-up fixes this because running at higher RPMs and under steady load cranks up exhaust temperatures, often well over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hot enough to burn off soot and carbon that's been slowly choking your engine. Think of it like taking your truck to the gym. Those 15 to 20 minutes of steady, high-load driving are your engine's workout. It clears its lungs, cleans its arteries, and gets everything flowing the way it was designed to. For turbo diesels, there's another big benefit. It forces the turbo to spin across its full range, preventing the moving parts from sticking and keeping it sharp for the long haul. Bottom line, the Italian tune-up works because it restores the operating conditions your diesel was built for. Without it, city driving just leaves layers of carbon that slowly eat away at performance. Now, I get it. Not everyone can just jump on the highway for a 20-minute sprint every week. Maybe you're stuck in city traffic. Maybe you don't have access to long stretches of open road. Does that mean you're doomed to clogged systems and carbon buildup? Not at all. Here are some smart workarounds. First, use quality fuel additives. A good additive can raise combustion temps, clean injectors, and help disperse water in your fuel, all of which reduce carbon buildup when you can't burn it off naturally. Second, make use of your truck's built-in systems. Most modern diesels have manual or forced regeneration options. Learn how to trigger these cycles safely when you notice increased soot or when your warning light comes on. Don't ignore those signs. That's your truck begging for a clean-out. Third, even short trips can be adjusted. If you're running errands, try to chain them together into a single, longer drive. Instead of 3 5-minute starts and stops, one 20-minute loop gives your engine enough heat to do its job. And finally, for cold starts, consider a block heater or remote start system. Warming the engine before you drive not only reduces wear, but helps it reach the right temps faster once you're on the move. None of these replace the effectiveness of a full Italian tune-up, but together they keep city-bound diesels far healthier and buy you time between those proper highway runs. At the end of the day, your diesel doesn't want complicated tricks or expensive gadgets. It just wants the conditions it was built for: high heat, steady loads, and the chance to clean itself out. That's why the Italian tune-up works so well. It's like giving your engine the workout it's been craving after months of sitting at a desk. Skip it, and you're gambling with expensive repairs. A clogged DPF alone can set you back $3,000 to $6,000. An EGR replacement? Another $1,500 to $3,000. But giving your diesel 15 to 20 minutes of proper high-load driving costs you nothing. It's cheap insurance, and it can easily add years and hundreds of thousands of miles to your engine's life. So now the question is on you. Are you going to let carbon quietly choke your diesel to death? Or are you going to give it the chance to breathe and run the way it was designed to? If this helped you, hit that like button and subscribe for more real-world diesel tips. And let me know in the comments, what's the worst diesel habit you've seen other drivers do? Because chances are the answer will surprise you and maybe even save someone else a fortune.